Have you ever felt like you're always swimming against the tide, surrounded by voices and influences that drain your energy instead of revitalizing it? At this moment, I want to invite you to pause and reflect. Who are the people around you? Do they lift you up or bring you down? Today, let's delve into the ancient wisdom of the Stoics, exploring how choosing our friends wisely and setting personal boundaries can completely change our life's journey. But before we move forward, if you're looking for inspiration to live a more complete and true life, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any of our ideas. Stay with us until the end of this video to discover practical tactics that can be applied in your daily life, transforming not only how you relate to others, but also how you see yourself and your place in the world. Have you ever stopped to reflect on how gratitude can transform your worldview? Just as the Stoics taught us, gratitude goes beyond a simple thank you. It's about valuing every lesson life brings us. So, how about we cultivate this practice together? Comment, I am grateful for the small daily blessings, and receive a little heart on your comment. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like to continue receiving more inspiring content. Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and gratitude together. Let's start with the idea of distancing yourself from toxic people in your life. Have you ever reflected on how we are impacted by the people around us? It feels like we're always amidst a whirlwind of noises and pressures where every little act of ours is closely scrutinized. But there's a secret that can change everything: who we choose to keep close. There are people who are like a calm river, helping us move forward smoothly, encouraging us to be better. But there are also those who are like a storm, bringing problems and confusion, and we get lost along the way. The Stoics, wise men of antiquity who were masters in the art of living well, talked a lot about this. They said we need to have self-control and find our peace, regardless of the chaos outside. This leads us to think, do the friendships we have help us grow or pull us down? Distancing yourself from someone who only brings negativity is not weakness, it is strength. It is choosing to have around those who are truly worth it. It's like tending to a garden. Sometimes we need to pull out some weeds for everything to truly flourish. Of course, this is not easy. We need to be honest with ourselves and think about what is truly important. But just imagine how light it must be to walk surrounded only by people who support you, in an environment where you can breathe easily, far from harsh judgments and negative vibes. So, how about we think about this for a moment? Do the voices you hear in your life elevate you or drag you down? Letting go of toxic friendships is not just about taking care of yourself. It's also about discovering your own strength and learning to navigate life more smoothly and meaningfully. Remember, the people we choose to have around are fundamental pieces in our lives. So why not choose more carefully? This is the time to look around, think carefully, and make the changes that need to be made. Because in the end, the quality of our lives is defined by the company we keep. Are you ready for this choice? Discover how to control your emotions and unlock your true potential with our small Stoic manual. Visit our stoica.com.br or click on the pinned comment link to get it now. 2. Draw your own boundaries. Time is an increasingly precious resource, and our energy is something limited. Setting boundaries is not just a survival tactic, but an essential foundation for a full and true life. But what does it really mean to establish these personal boundaries? And, more importantly, how do they help us deal with the complexities of modern life? Think of boundaries as the borders of a map, marking the territory that is uniquely yours: your time, your energy, your emotions. These boundaries are the invisible lines that help us define how far we are willing to go, what we are willing to accept, and where we need to say no. They are, essentially, an assertion of self-respect and a recognition of our own worth. Without these well-defined boundaries, we become susceptible to extreme fatigue, an increasingly common state in a society that often values the idea of always being busy. When we can't differentiate between the demands of others and our own needs, we lose not only control over our lives, but also a vital part of our identity. Setting boundaries is, therefore, an act of balance, a delicate dance between giving and receiving. It is understanding that, to truly care for others, we need to be at our best. And this is only possible when we take care of ourselves. It's the ability to say no when necessary, not out of selfishness, but because we recognize that by preserving our well-being, we are preparing more fertile ground for all our relationships. But how do we draw these boundaries? It begins with self-awareness, with understanding what we truly value, what drains our energy, and what nourishes it. It is an ongoing process of attentively listening to our own needs and learning to communicate them clearly and assertively. Imagine for a moment the sense of freedom when establishing these boundaries, having the power to choose how, with whom, and in what to invest your time and energy. Visualize the tranquility that comes with the certainty of living a life aligned with your deepest values. Now I invite you to reflect on what boundaries you need to establish in your life to protect your time, energy, and mental health. Remember, setting boundaries is not a barrier to keeping people at a distance, but a bridge to more authentic and meaningful relationships. So, how about we start drawing these boundaries today? Because in the end, the quality of your life is not measured by the number of tasks you perform, but by the quality of the experiences you choose to live. Are you ready to take control and set the boundaries that will guide your path? And as you reflect on this, remember that throughout history, great thinkers, like the Stoics, have always highlighted the importance of living according to your own values and not getting lost in the whirlwind of others' expectations. Philosophy teaches us the art of balance, the serenity of a mind at peace with itself, even amidst the chaos of the world. So, how can you apply this wisdom to your life today? 3. Don't love too much. When we talk about love, that feeling that everyone desires to feel and experience, it's important to remember that love is a wonderful thing, but there is a special way to live it that makes all the difference. The Stoics, those wise men of antiquity, had some really incredible ideas about this. They taught us that we can love deeply, yes, but in a way that leaves everyone free, without suffocating or holding anyone back. Thinking about love in this way is like letting a bird fly. If we hold it too tightly, it can't be itself, it can't fly. But if we care for it tenderly and let it free, it is happy, and we are too. True love, the kind the Stoics spoke about, is the one that gives wings, that allows the person to be who they are, without restrictions. Freedom does not mean we love less. It is precisely the opposite. It is loving in a wiser way, choosing to be together because we want to, not because we need to. It is understanding that each of us is already complete on our own, but we choose to share this completeness with someone, without dependencies. This kind of love recognizes that things change, that not everything lasts forever. But instead of being saddened by this, we learn to value each moment, knowing that every instant together is a gift. And even if things change someday, the love that was lived leaves a positive mark, a small light that never goes out. Now imagine how incredible it is to love this way, with an open heart, but without losing who we are. The Stoics wanted us to learn this, to love deeply, but in a way that keeps us firm and at peace inside. So how about we try to live love this way? Choose to be with someone not to fill a void, but to add, to make the other's life even more beautiful. This is the proposal for today, to love in a way that liberates, that feels good, that makes us feel more alive and happy. Moreover, think about how this view of love can transform our relationships. When we love with freedom, we open space for the other to flourish, for the relationship to grow in a healthy and enriching way. And at the same time, we find in ourselves the strength and serenity to deal with the changes life brings, with the certainty that true love always leaves a lasting and positive legacy. Are we ready to embrace this kind of love? 4. Express your feelings and opinions with care. In a world where every word has the power to build or destroy, to unite or divide, the art of expressing feelings and opinions with caution emerges as a guide to wisdom. Imagine for a moment that our words are like the waters of a river. They flow with strength and determination, but also have the ability to adapt, to navigate obstacles with grace and resilience. In this context, the Stoic philosophy offers us a map, a compass to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of human communication. The Stoics, with their proverbial calm, teach us that having control over our thoughts and reactions is not just an act of self-discipline, but also a gift of freedom. Imagine being able to choose, with full awareness, the response you want to give in any situation, instead of being swept away by intense emotions and instinctive reactions. This is the promise of Stoic philosophy, the freedom to respond with wisdom and consideration. Why is it so crucial to moderate how we express our feelings and opinions? We live in an era of instant connections, where every thought can be shared with the world in a matter of seconds. The speed at which we communicate should not surpass the depth and quality of our interactions. By choosing our words carefully, we avoid misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, and above all, we preserve valuable relationships. Moreover, by practicing inner calm and seeking to understand before being understood, we become beacons of empathy and understanding in our communities. The ability to truly listen, to embrace others' perspectives, even when they differ from ours, is an act of courage and generosity. And here, my friends, lies true strength. Let's exemplify with a common situation. You strongly disagree with a friend's opinion on a certain subject. The Stoic approach does not prevent us from expressing our disagreement. On the contrary, it invites us to do so with respect, seeking points of connection and mutual understanding. Instead of starting an ego battle, we transform the conversation into a bridge for growth and shared learning. Finally, by adopting this philosophy of life, we discover that true communication goes far beyond the exchange of words. It is rooted in authenticity, in vulnerability, and in the courage to show ourselves as we are, with our fears, our hopes, and our dreams. And by doing so, we not only find our own voice, but also invite others to find theirs. Therefore, let us choose words with the same care a gardener dedicates to their plants. Let us be patient, compassionate, and deliberate. May our communication be a source of light, not shadows. And as we walk this path, we discover not only the art of speaking, but the sublime art of living. 5. Selective compassion. Compassion is like a ray of light that warms and illuminates, showing that we care for each other. But even this light needs to be directed wisely so as not to get lost in the vastness of the night sky. The idea of selective compassion is like using a flashlight instead of turning on all the lights in the house. You focus where it's really needed, where you can make a difference. Think of it this way: the world is full of problems and pain, more than any of us can solve alone. It's like being in a small boat in the middle of a turbulent ocean, trying to rescue those adrift. If we try to save everyone at once, we risk sinking under the weight. Selective compassion teaches us to recognize where we can reach out without putting ourselves at risk, keeping the boat stable while helping others. This form of compassion tells us that it's okay to admit we can't be everywhere at once. It's not about turning our backs on the world's difficulties, but choosing our battles wisely. If a friend needs us, we can be there for them, where our presence makes a real difference. But when it comes to bigger problems, beyond our reach, we do what we can, perhaps helping from afar, without losing ourselves in the attempt to embrace the world. Maintaining this balance also means taking care of ourselves. We can't give to others what we don't have. If we exhaust all our energy trying to fix everything and everyone, we'll end up with nothing to offer. It's like if, in trying to illuminate for everyone, we end up in darkness ourselves. So, if you find yourself in a situation where someone needs help and you can do something, go ahead. Your heart and actions can make all the difference. But if it's something beyond your control, do what you can without blaming yourself for not doing more. Sometimes the greatest help we can offer is being well ourselves, so that when someone needs us, we are ready and able to reach out. Selective compassion is ultimately about being smart with our care and affection. It's about choosing where we can truly be a positive force, ensuring we remain strong and healthy enough to make a difference in the long run. And remembering that by taking good care of what we have to offer, we ensure it continues to shine brightly for those in need. 6. Prioritize yourself and be straightforward. At the heart of Stoicism, we find a powerful appeal to self-knowledge and the value of self-care. It's a simple but transformative idea. Putting yourself first is not an act of selfishness, but a crucial step in becoming the best version of yourself. And why is that? Because when we are well, strong, and balanced, we are much more capable of supporting others. Imagine you are like a glass of water. If the glass is empty, how can you offer water to someone else? First, you need to fill your own glass. This means taking care of yourself. It's ensuring you're mentally, emotionally, and physically prepared to face daily challenges and help those around you. It's not about always putting yourself ahead of others, but ensuring you don't always place yourself last. Being authentic and honest in your interactions is another pillar of this approach. Speaking the truth and being who you truly are can seem challenging. After all, what happens if others don't like it? But the truth is, honesty creates deeper and more meaningful connections. When you're true to yourself and others, you build relationships based on trust and mutual respect. And that's the foundation of any healthy relationship. So, how do you put this into practice? It starts with small daily choices. Saying no when something truly doesn't align with your values, or when you simply don't have the energy to give. Allowing yourself moments of rest without feeling guilty. And in interacting with others, choosing honesty, even if it means having difficult conversations. By making these practices a habit, you'll not only be taking better care of yourself, but also creating an environment where others feel encouraged to do the same. It's a domino effect of positivity, where everyone benefits. Remember that you are important, and that your health and well-being are fundamental is not selfishness, it's wisdom. It's the foundation from which you can build a rich and meaningful life, not just for yourself, but also for those around you. And that, my friends, is one of the most valuable lessons Stoicism has to teach us. 7. Face difficulties and find strength in challenges. Accepting adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful idea that invites us to see life differently. We know that life is not a bed of roses. It comes with its share of storms and mountains to climb. However, it's precisely by confronting these obstacles that we find our greatest lessons and opportunities for growth. Think of it this way: every challenge that arises is like a unique test for our inner strength and our capacity to adapt. When a problem appears before us, we have two options: retreat and feel defeated, or face it head-on, using it as a springboard for our personal development. The Stoic philosophy, rich in ancient wisdom, encourages us to choose the latter option. Imagine for a moment that every difficulty is a question life asks us: what can you learn from this? By embracing our problems with this mindset, we transform obstacles into opportunities. Every adversity becomes a learning moment, every challenge a chance to demonstrate our resilience. But how do we do this in practice? It begins with acceptance. Accepting that life will have challenges is the first step to overcoming them. This doesn't mean we like or wish for these situations, but we recognize they are part of our path. Next, we look for the lessons. Every challenge has something to teach us, whether about ourselves or the world around us. Additionally, embracing adversity allows us to strengthen our emotional control. When we face challenges head-on, we learn to manage our emotions without letting fear or frustration dominate us. This emotional control is a powerful tool, not only for overcoming present difficulties, but also for preparing us for unforeseen future events. Finally, thriving in the face of adversity is a demonstration of strength and determination. Every time we overcome a challenge, we build a stronger version of ourselves, more prepared to face whatever comes. It's as if each solved problem adds a piece to the mosaic of our resilience, making it more complete with each passing obstacle. In summary, embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges is a powerful way to live life. It transforms fear into courage, uncertainty into opportunity, and suffering into fortitude. It's an invitation to look within ourselves, recognize our resilience capacity, and move forward with confidence, knowing that in the end, we can face anything life throws our way. 8. Live in the present with fullness. Living in the present with fullness is a transformative journey toward the heart of what truly matters in life. Stoic philosophy, with its ancient wisdom, illuminates this path, teaching us to anchor our experiences in the current moment. After all, life happens now, where every breath is a new beginning, and every moment is an opportunity to be fully lived. Often our minds get lost in the mazes of past memories or in anxious dreams for the future, distancing us from the richness of the present moment. However, by practicing the experience of the present, we learn to free ourselves from these chains, focusing our attention and energy on actions and thoughts that are truly within our reach. Imagine, for a moment, the power of truly being where you are, of fully feeling every sensation, of being completely engaged in every task, no matter how simple. This not only enriches our life experience, but also makes us more effective and focused, allowing us to embrace joys and face challenges with a renewed presence of mind. But how can we cultivate this ability to live in the present with fullness? It begins with awareness, the simple act of noticing when our thoughts take us away from the now. Each time we notice this deviation, gently, without judgment, we bring our attention back to the moment, whether by focusing on our breathing, physical sensations, or the task at hand. This practice of returning to the present can be strengthened through meditation, mindfulness, or even activities that require full focus and commitment. And as this ability grows, so does our appreciation for life. Suddenly, small things begin to shine with a new light, moments with others become richer, and even challenges seem less daunting because we are equipped with the clarity and calm that only presence can provide. Living in the present with fullness is ultimately an act of self-love and respect for life. By choosing to fully inhabit each moment, we not only enhance our own existence but also enrich the lives of those around us. Each moment becomes a celebration, an act of gratitude for the miracle of being alive here and now. So, let us all strive to live in the present with all our hearts, remembering that each moment is precious and irreplaceable. And as we dedicate ourselves to this practice, we discover that the present is where we find true peace and satisfaction, which do not depend on external circumstances, but on our own ability to be completely present. How about we start anchoring ourselves in the now today? 9. The practice of gratitude. Have you ever wondered why, in moments of silence, when the dust of everyday life settles, we feel a kind of inner calm? It is in this instant that gratitude, almost like a gentle breeze, stealthily enters our lives. It's not a new or revolutionary concept. In fact, it's as old as the Stoic thinkers themselves, who, with their lives centered on self-awareness and virtue, taught us the immense power of appreciating what we have. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It goes much deeper. It's about recognizing the incalculable value of small things, of the people who cross our path, of experiences that, no matter how challenging, always have something to teach us. Imagine for a moment that every difficult situation is, in reality, a disguised teacher, bringing valuable lessons for our growth. And that's why it's so powerful, because it changes how we see the world, transforms barriers into steps, problems into opportunities. Gratitude takes us out of the relentless pursuit of more, of the new, of the extraordinary, and places us in a state of contentment with what is, with the now. But how can we incorporate this practice into our daily lives in a world where chaos seems to reign? Start simple. In your daily routine, pause for a moment, look around. That morning cup of coffee, a friend's smile, the sunset after an exhausting day. Small gifts that often go unnoticed. This change in perspective not only enriches our life experience but also strengthens our relationships. Gratitude builds bridges, brings people closer. When we express our appreciation for others, we're in some way acknowledging their importance in our journey, creating a virtuous cycle of recognition and affection. But what about the emotional and spiritual resilience we often seek? Gratitude is a solid foundation in this regard. It teaches us to be flexible, to adapt, shows that, in the grand scheme of things, we are part of something bigger, connected to each other, to the world, to the universe. This sense of connection gives us strength, makes us more human, more complete. So, I invite you to embark on this journey of discovery, where each day is an opportunity to cultivate gratitude, not as a task, but as a gift you give yourself. Every morning, as you open your eyes, think of something you're grateful for. It can be something simple, something small, but acknowledge it, and you'll see, gradually, how this act will transform your life, bringing more light, more peace, and an immense sense of being truly alive. Remember, gratitude is a path, not a destination, and this path is woven day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath. May your journey be rich, full, and above all, grateful. 10. Self-sufficiency and independence. Are you familiar with this idea that we need to rely on ourselves without depending too much on others to be happy? This is a bit of what the ancient philosophers called Stoics meant by self-sufficiency. But hold on, it's not about isolating yourself from the world or pretending you don't need anyone. It's about finding joy and peace within yourself without constantly seeking approval or help from others. It means trying to do the best you can with what you have, striving to be a just, courageous, and balanced person. These qualities are like treasures we carry within us that no one can take away. When we can live like this, external things like people's opinions or difficult situations don't affect us as much. But how do we get there? Well, there's no magic formula. It's a path we build day by day, trying to be a little better, facing problems head on, and learning from mistakes without letting them define us. Along this path, you'll realize that you don't need as much from the outside to be happy. This doesn't mean you'll stop enjoying people or the good things in life. On the contrary, you'll value these things even more, but in a healthier way, without that dependency. Being self-sufficient is a journey of discovery, of freedom. It's about learning to enjoy life with what you have here and now, without always wanting more or waiting for something external to change to be happy. It's about strengthening yourself from within to better face external challenges. So remember this, true happiness comes from within. It's about building your own happiness with the simple things of everyday life and being true to who you really are. May your journey be full of these moments of discovery and joy, remembering that, in the end, we have immense strength within us. 11. Flexibility and adaptability. Have you ever had one of those days when nothing seems to go right? The alarm doesn't go off, you run out of coffee, the internet crashes just before that important meeting. Yes, life throws us these curveballs, and that's where a very cool idea from the Stoics comes in. A group from antiquity that had some pretty interesting ideas about navigating life. They talked about the importance of being flexible and adapting to life's twists and turns. Basically, what they meant is that we can't control everything that happens to us, but we can decide how we're going to react to these things. Let's be honest, there's a lot that's out of our control, right? But how do we face these situations? Well, that's up to us. Being flexible and adaptable is like being bamboo, which bends with the wind but doesn't break. When life presents us with a challenge, we learn to dance to the rhythm of the music instead of standing still, complaining that it's not the melody we wanted to hear. This not only helps us get through tough times with more calm, but also allows us to see these difficult moments as opportunities to grow and strengthen ourselves. Imagine that each problem is like a surprise exercise life offers you. At first, it may be hard, but over time, you become more prepared, smarter. And that's not all. Being someone who adapts easily allows us to see things from a positive perspective, even when everything seems to be going downhill. So next time something doesn't go as planned, try channeling your inner Stoic. Take a deep breath, see what you can do with what you have, and move forward. Remember, it's not about what happens to you, but how you react to what happens. It may not change the situation immediately, but it'll certainly make you feel a little better, and perhaps even lead you to a solution you hadn't thought of before. Being flexible and adaptable is a superpower nowadays. So let's practice this idea and become the kind of person who faces life's twists and turns head on, ready for whatever comes. And so, by embracing flexibility, we discover that we don't always need to have all the answers. Sometimes the beauty lies in letting the unknown guide us, trusting that, like bamboo, we can withstand any storm with grace and resilience. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it inspired deep reflection on your personal journey. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You are truly persistent, dedicated, and bold, essential traits for anyone seeking success, freedom, or financial independence. Comment till the end to show me you're part of this special group, and as a thank you, I'll give a little heart on your comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave your like so we can continue this journey together. On the screen, I'm leaving 2 video recommendations that I believe you'll love. Choose one and watch it right now. Until next time.